I had forgotten about. I was really not expecting it. There we go. Can I? Cool. Also, because I've been sat like not logging into Armor for like 4 minutes now. Disgraceful. Tut tut.
Very young.
What do you mean my stream is offline? I can tell you for a fact it's not. I'm streaming. There we go. Fucking Armor. No, fucking Twitch.
Could be fucking Twitch. I'm sure she wouldn't enjoy that.
I don't know anyone called Twitch.
If you never played Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh yeah, she's hot though. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, she is my fucking guy Flynn though.
Yeah, but she is French though.
Yeah, minus points. She's
I've
still
I've
French.
only met a handful of French people that are actually like nice.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. Allez-vous anglais? Fuck you.
Please make me not respawn game. I just want like Zeus when I load and not have to worry about it. Wait, is my TVR on? Because I know I turned it off. No, it's on. Cool. Might put up Spotify and just listen to music. And oh, if I have Zeus, I can just take my load out. I don't have to get to the board or the boxes. Oh, beautiful.
You're only just putting on Spotify to listen to music?
Not only just I'm considering it, but given that I've actually got to like teach today, it might be a bit. Uh, do I need to respawn or will I just be given it?
Have you seen fucking what Wolf's name is? It says Pef.
Puff,
PFF.
puff. Okay, I have a question. McCarthy, why do you have a shotgun?
Because I'm testing stuff. Hold on.
Um, do I have to respawn for Zeus or do I have to be given it?
Should have it.
Well, I don't. I might have to respawn. We'll see if that works. Yeah. I don't want to do that. Paul, do you want Zeus? One sec. This one on you. I'd love it if my game didn't lag. You got it?
Yeah.
Cool. It's so good because now it means that I don't have to like bother with the boxes or anything. I literally just I have my whole kit. I don't have to go like yeah, because I've got a loadout like pre-sorted. I simply just load it up and it's like bam.
Like when before we loaded, you could see the section over first name, and you would be able to see your name, either under Charlie and Delta, alright? And whichever you were down with,
Charlie, so
I
right.
think it was Charlie, yeah, so go right.
Radio check 113.
Check.
Thank you. Paul, I'm gonna be back in a sec. I'm going downstairs. I want a drink and a bit of food.
That fucking cook.
No, I'm not gonna go cook. I'm gonna go make like some toast or something.
Oh my.
I'll be 2 minutes max. 2 minutes.
Can you actually choose where we're gonna be doing the training first?
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot. I haven't done that yet. Let's.
But
No, I'll just use the go-to. What I always do on this map. One sec. This color. Okay, cool. We'll do something like this, this,
You got fuck all on then, right? Come on, mate.
this, and this.
You got no
Okay, classic.
and you're in the
Like, is that not the go-to? That's like, that should be enough decent terrain and whatnot for what we need to do.
Yeah, I'll TP as if it was ready.
Well, yeah, we're still waiting on a few people. Get their colours sorted. I'll be back in, as I say, maximum 2 minutes.
This might work, I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Delta point.
Yep.
Alright, Crow, gear up, and we shall start off.
Point. Demon, if you go, and Zeman, if you go red as well.
Roger.
And then you want to do the opposite.
Everyone here? Everyone good to go?
What weapon has Davidson got?
I use their stuff with me normally. And then you want your additional
Any particular equipment that we need to get for this mission?
Nah, we good.
There he comes.
GPMG.
Yeah, and if you go,
Safety
if you go
done.
Delta, Davidson, so go blue for me.
Yeah, everyone's safety done.
Oh,
No.
And
shit. Team management. That's
you're going to be
Once
over
we're
there.
good,
'cause it
I'm
looks
gonna
like we're the
TP
wrong
us
way
to
round.
where we're doing our shit tonight.
You want the Sarah boning?
Yeah, you can give me a herringbone now.
Zeman,
Oh!
and then I'll
Hold
be
on, let
after
me put
you.
let me put my maid out.
hold
first.
up.
Let me put my maid out.
That's-
Like that.
Again for Demon.
Yeah, behind walls.
No, I said
Liquid
that
question.
Coleman got
How do I
it.
know which position to get in, looking at the different teams?
I will go through everything in a few minutes. I'm gonna have a TED talk once we TP, alright?
Yeah, no worries.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go through all the basics and
That's
if you have
alright,
any
I'm back.
questions, just explain everything, we'll be fine. Crow, between me and Sunny.
Yeah, 84,
No,
where?
all that written down, but we're-
Yeah, 84.
Step off over.
They'll be in the boxes on the left-hand side.
Okay, where's last? Ah.
Cool. Alright, I'm gonna.
There she good to go?
Okay, cool.
Weird having fat off fucking shitty micro dagger on the side of my screen.
Yeah, well, yeah. We have to make sacrifices, I suppose, don't we?
It's weird.
Is everyone? Not quite, I don't think.
You done?
I think we're all here.
No, miss you.
Aw, thank you.
FSG vehicle got upgraded. Look at the size of the chunky.
I know, yeah, but it's not as armoured and doesn't have a gun at the top.
I know, but it's a chunky bus.
That's because it's a chunky group of them now.
You got the long bus.
Like,
Long bus. Alright, retards, get in.
we love great. Alright, is this everyone? This looks like everyone. Paul, I'm assuming Paul's teleporting us. I'm just waiting for Paul to teleport us. Oh, am I teleporting? Okay, fair. Let's go. Oh. All right. Where are we? 0307. Why is my compass in already? Okay, yeah, we're. All right, cool.
Alright, everyone, please, a circle around me, a school circle.
Yeah, school circle around myself and Paul. Gather round. Yeah, section training. It is likely to be a little bit boring, at least at the beginning. But we're hopefully going to get all the sort of talky, lectury bit out of the way first, and then at the end. Say again.
While I think about this, on the us and Gilly ever did a section training, and all of us did them 357 times. Whereas
Yes.
the others probably haven't even done one before.
Actually, yes, I think, yeah, all of you have not done section trainings. But yeah, so we're going to do...
Refreshers will be good.
So yeah, so we're going to start. It is pretty much going to be us telling you things. Just trying to get the information across and see what you know and whatnot. Then hopefully we're going to finish it with some actual live fire stuff so that it's not completely boring. Not sure who that was for. Oh, it's because my radio has defaulted to ZeusNet. Cool.
I'm on free my check.
Yeah, good.
Good check.
So I'm eating a banana.
Lewis doesn't have Zeus.
How much of it did you take down in one go?
Not as much as I've been able to. So hopefully, well, I'd say we'll actually just sort of get going. Hopefully, you will have all seen and read what Paul put into the Training Request channel on Discord a couple of days ago. It is a nice document. It's got lots of useful things. It was going to be expanded, but we sort of never got around to doing it. So a lot of our training is going to revolve around the information there. Also, for those of you that have done them, it's going to be a lot of things that are in the BIT, the AIT, and the PTC. So it's a very much sort of back to basics day today, just so that, you know, Paul and I can gauge what needs doing or, you know, what can be skipped as we go into the actual homerization. So firstly, we'll start with something that I think is definitely needed, especially because the other two people who are competent doing this aren't here today, is platoon radio. So because I don't know how far away we are, just platoon radio for this is going to be 100.2 for anyone that's on it, just for us. Because all of you, apart from Wolf, Brittany and Gilly, are recruits, you won't have done a PTC, so you won't know how to set an additional channel, maybe. So if you open up your radio, Control P. If you select the second channel with the little plus button, and you set the frequency to 100.2.
Help if you tell them how to set an additional channel first.
I'm doing that they've got to set the frequency before setting it as an additional.
You set an additional and then set the frequency, otherwise it
Press up.
defaults it.
Yep.
You
press
can-
up, set, then type in 100.2.
You can do it either way. I've never had any issues.
Whenever I put the frequency in, then set it to additional, it just defaults to some random fucking number. So
I have never had that issue, but if you have it, then yeah, set additional first, then.
just to be safe.
Yeah, so to set an additional, it is the little button at the bottom with like an arrow pointing to the left. If you hover over it, it will say set additional channel. When you do that, instead of C2, it will say A2 on the little display, and then you can type in the frequency 100.2. So 100, that. Set the frequency. You can use the stereo settings, which is the button in the bottom left, to change which ear you hear it out of. And then you need to make sure that you select your radio, or rather set your radio back to channel 1, so the section net, or else when you hit caps lock, you'll speak over platoon rather than section. So, that's platoon. Normally in op, it is 100.1. It's just, as I say, I don't know how close or far other people on platoon will be, so that's just the net that we're going to use for this bit of the training.
One thing to note on that part, if you're a PTE, I always say that it's worth to have platoon radio up somewhere in your ear, because you are in touch with what's happening. Basically, you're not expected, and pretty much well, you are told not to talk unless you have to. But listening in is not a breach of anything, so you can just listen to it and you'll be fine. because you will know what's happening. Technically, if you're a recruit, I won't mind you listening to it either, but I don't think you will find any point in it, unless you are the only one alive in your section and you want to tell the higher ups that we are fucked to fucking eternity.
Which is the important bit that we're going to do today.
Which is going to be the important stuff that we're going to go through today. But in
Yes.
general, if you are really interested in how it looks on our side, you'll be able to listen into us talk over the net at this point. The only thing of mentioning is just to make sure that you don't actually talk over it because, well, yeah.
Yeah. Question?
It's okay if I'm just off medic chat, then medic radio.
You stay on MedNet.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, in op, you focus on MedNet.
Yeah, of course. But tonight, do you want me still on mednet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just hop on the platoon. Yeah. Platoon will function as mednet for the exercise later on because mednet will be Zeus.
Wonderful.
Now that you set an additional, if you want to talk over it, you push T on your keyboard. That's the transmission for PlatoonNet. So hopefully you all heard that in one of your other ears. On PlatoonNet, there are some sort of procedures. If you're the last one up, and you just want to inform Platoon that shit's fucked, then you don't necessarily need to remember the procedures because it's sort of an expectation that it's probably a stressful environment. You're not the most versed on it, but it's always good to be aware of what they should be. So everyone on PlatoonNet has a call sign. So for example, I am 13 Charlie, Paul is 13 Delta. In fact, Brittany is 13 Mike because he's the medic. So Spittle, he'd be 10, McCarthy would be 10 Bravo. So say everyone's got their own call sign. PlatoonNet is formal. You do need to, talk to people with their call sign, and you need to finish messages with either over or out. I would recommend for all of you, finish a message with over. Over means that you are expecting a reply. Out means that is the end of the conversation. If you ever have to take over, it is always better to let 10 or 10 Bravo finish the conversation with an out rather than you doing it potentially prematurely. If as I'm assuming Wolf and Brittany should remember from your PTC, the way that you speak on PlatoonNet is the full formal is hello you, this is me, message over. So hello you is hello and then the call sign you are trying to reach. This is your call sign, message over. And then you need to wait for a particular response. So if I was talking to McCarthy, I'd come over PlatoonNet and I'd say, hello 10 Bravo, this is 13 Charlie, message over.
10 Bravo, send over.
We're on 100.2 if you want to do it over net.
I was just doing it on fucking speaking because I don't know what night you're on.
Yeah. He teleported himself in earlier.
10 Bravo, send over.
So yeah, so you'd hear a response, which is implying that they are ready to receive your message. It helps if I don't get texts from my parents mid trying to teach. But sometimes things are unavoidable, aren't they? And that's one of them.
How do I know my call sign?
So
Just use your name. When it comes down to you having to talk over your radio, it's the best for you to just use your name, as in 13 Lewins.
Yeah. So if you have to take over, it is just 13 and then your name. If you are in a position of power, so say for example Gilly is R3IC tonight, and Paul dies, he would then assume the role of 13 Delta. But if you ever have to take over because of a section Maskaz, just say 13 in your name, because then it's a clear sign to platoon that the command structure is gone. So once you've received the message that whoever you're trying to talk to is available to hear what you want to say, you then start every message with their call sign, so they know that you're still trying to reach them and the message is for them. Then you insert whatever message you're trying to say and then finish it with an over or an out. As I said earlier, over is your best bet. Just, you can almost forget out on your end. Just use over, wait for the platoon to out you. So as said previously, it'd be, hello 10, this is 13, message over. He comes back, this is 10, send message. I could then come back on platoon net and go, 10, section is Mascaz, requesting support. Over.
10 Bravo, A firm, section 100 to help you out now. Right.
So, I gave the information, and that is sort of the example of what message you'd probably want to be giving if you ever have to take over. So Mascaz means mass casualties, so everyone's dead. Normally we refer to a Mascaz as more than 50% of the section being killed. So today there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we're down to 4 people, we'd be calling a section Mascaz. Or maybe 3 people if you want to consider it more than 50%. If you've got a GPS, you can pop open your map and you can give your grid coordinate to the platoon. That's very useful because on the C tab, although they may be able to see myself, they won't be able to see the specific locations of any of you. So, we could have pushed forward, I could have died, you could have pulled back a bit into more defensible cover. They'll be assuming the section's on my position, but, you're 100 meters away. Don't worry too much about actually what information you're getting across or how you're doing it, because as I said earlier, taking over platoon net is going to be a bit of a stressful situation, especially if, for example, because we don't have many privates tonight, especially if a recruit has to take over, that's implying that, shit is fucked because you've got to go down that chain of command. On the subject of taking over platoon net, it's just a sort of more basic radio comm. Anyone that's on an a BIT should remember this, which is the acronym CLAP. So CLAP. Can anyone tell me what it all stands for, or even what particular letters stand for, if you can't remember?
All if you'd like.
Well, so Brittany, if you give me the C and L, and then Wolf, you can give me the A and the P.
C and L are clear and loud, so you say it very clearly, and you say it with verbose in your voice, in a sense.
Yep, and then Wolf, the A and the P.
As an order and pauses.
Um,
Order, and you make sure you don't say it quickly. You put pauses in between it so people can hear it.
Yeah, the best example that I like to use for clap is just, giving contact calls. So, the wrong net. Contact, enemy section, 100 meters, bearing 307. So it's, clear. You all presumably heard me. You know where the contact would be. And then pauses is try and separate the information. So if you're doing a, section Mascaz message, it'll be 10, section is Mascaz, need support, grid is as follows. Over. So it's just so that, if, people are hearing gunfire or other people talking, there's that, the radio message is still readable. I don't think I've forgotten anything that I'd actually need to mention. Additionally to that, Paul, anything that you can think of that I will have missed?
In terms of comms, yeah, no, I just want to reminisce on the fact that make sure to not talk on the radio unless you have to, right? People in platoon tend to be pissy about the fact that people who talk on the net they're not entitled to. So
yeah, they'll always pop up with unknown call sign or wrong, they hit you with wrong net or whatnot. They can be a bit arsey about it sometimes. If you think it's going to be a worry, you can always rebind it off T. I can't remember where the control is, but if you want to move it to something that you're less likely to hit accidentally, you can.
Mine's set to hashtag just because of T is next to R. So.
Yeah. So say if you're worried that you're gonna, hit it accidentally, you can rebind it, or you just, you don't need to listen in. But you probably, if you're not gonna listen in, you probably just need to pay a bit more attention to the section so that you know who's up, who's down. Because I know there's been a lot of instances, especially recently, where the few people who've like known how to get onto Platoon net, they've all died, but in the sort of confusion of battle, people haven't noticed that those specific people are dead, and I've been unconscious, hearing in my ear, like any 1-3 call sign, like send message or status or whatever. So it's just having that situational awareness, either of the situation on the ground or using information that's coming through your ear on the radio. But yeah, I think that's everything for Platoon net.
Great question.
Yes.
Is Platoon Net 0 usually 100.1 or just 100? I can't remember.
It's 100.1.
Thank you.
So yeah. So that's Platoon net. Yeah, as I say, for most of you, yeah, you probably shouldn't need to. We've got myself and Paul, and then like three privates who are sort of senior, who know net, know procedures. So hopefully it shouldn't come down to it. This is more like the information that you should know if the emergency situation arises, as it did last stop, I think, when Wolf had to take over.
I wasn't there, sadly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I died 2 minutes later.
we all did. Like we all did.
Yeah, that's the most meaningful the thing that some of you may not have known yet. Next up, I think you would like to go back to the basics to a point. And in terms of those basics, maybe first off, before I start a TED talk about 6 biojoules, I would like you guys to ask your own questions. If you have some things that pester your minds from especially for the recruits, for this few obs that you have been through at this point without any specific training. If you have any questions that pester you, that you don't understand things that we're doing, now is a good moment to ask them, because we have 90 minutes to go through these things. So yeah.
Like we'd say, we have a plan for the training, but it's very flexible. If there's something that you think you need to do, then we'll see if we can incorporate it.
If you have questions on what we're doing and how you're supposed to do something, just go ahead right now.
So, anyone?
Any questions?
There was something that we did, I think, in the training where there was a way of keeping pace with everyone else. If you could maybe cover that, that'd be useful.
Oh, is this like walking speeds and spacings and things?
That's fine when I'm following people. I keep having to stop and move faster and stop.
Yep.
Seems very jerky.
So, walking speeds. There's like what?
There are
five different types of walking speeds that
Are
we
there?
are going to be using. 5 because I count sprint as well.
Okay, yeah.
There are 5 different basically ways you can move on a different types of speeds. Basically, there's slow jog, there's jog, there is a semi-weapon raised jog, and there is a weapon raised jog. Basically,
And there's walking, but we barely walk.
you barely walk, but you're only probably going to be using when you misclick or something. So I'm not counting this one. And there's also double timing or sprinting or something on that line.
Yeah.
So you have 5 of these different speeds that we're going to be using. And over the radio, when we decide the speed of movement as a section, we're probably going to be referring to them to either slow jog, a jog, which is, this is a jog, and this is a slow jog.
You transfer between them by double pressing C. So if you're jogging and you push C, you'll go slow, and then push.
It's very small. When you try doing it yourself, you will see the difference. But you need to remember that to jog, you need to have your weapon down, and you put your weapon down by double-clicking control.
Yeah, because for some reason, jogging with your weapon raised is faster than just jogging.
Yep.
I don't know why it is, but it just is.
Yep. So there's a slow jog, which is...
Double push C.
Then you have a fast jog, which is this.
Again, double press C if you're... That's to switch from slow to fast, or fast to slow.
Out of difference when you actually do it. Then you have semi-weapon raised, which is this, and then you have weapon raised, which is this, and
Yep.
then also you have double time or sprinting and whatever we can
So
call it.
semi-weapon raised is simply, like it's up, you double press control and then you walk. Weapon raised is you're actually aiming down the sight and then you slow down.
I think it'd be better if we ran it up down the road as a unit to actually test out.
Yeah, we will.
Yes.
Once we do the formations, but I just want to go through it
Yeah.
as a theory part, right?
Yeah.
And also in terms of spacing, I will show you specifically.
It's the beautiful shack tack rings.
I am now more or less the correct spacing that you should try and hold during an operation. It is between 10 to 15 meters, and you should see that I am about closer to the end of the middle ring at this point, which is kind of what you want to aim for.
Yeah, it's around that second black line you want to be sort of hovering about.
Because yeah, we're talking numbers and shit, but in the end, numbers don't really matter in the game because you can't really comprehend the distance in the game, right? So this is why we're using shack tack, and you can see kind of visually, both in terms of distance and what you see on your shack tack compass down the bottom, how specifically what range you should be keeping. So as you guys can see, we're an 8-man section. If we all had the correct spacing and an extended line, the extended line would be fucking massive.
Yeah, it would be 80 meters if you can all hear me. I think I'm gonna shout. Yeah, be 80 meters between most furthest left and most furthest right.
I just found out, by the way. So if you press Shift H, it gives you a little or Control H to bring up your shack tack. The little yellow arrow actually points out how distant things are, so you can actually use it to see how far
When
you
you
are.
click Control H, you open up.
Control H gives me a medical menu.
Because you're
Control H
weird.
is on the micro dagger, but you can actually check your distance between people as well.
Yeah.
This is what we should focus on, in terms of spacing and that kind of stuff. Any other questions before I start yapping about battle rules?
Battle drill should hopefully be quick.
Yeah, I'll just basically go through and explain them, just so you're in touch on how we operate. Yeah, well, in terms of battle rules, I'm sadly a fucking madman and I memorized all of them.
Why? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Just literally in RTT, just get the document up and read.
I had to memorize. You're not gonna understand. Yeah, so battle
It's the
rules.
autism.
You're taught that in AIT, of course, and battle drills are what the main, let's say, SOPs, or rather,
But yeah, well, so the main one that everything stems off is pre-SAR. It's effectively like an entire op night from start to finish. It's covered by pre-SAR. The individual breakup of that are more specific things that you'd have to worry about at specific bits of the night.
yeah, and all of them basically tell you how to operate. So pre-SAR basically tells you how the section operates from start of an order, or rather, start of doing an objective to the very end of it. So, let's say you start off a night, or you start off an objective. You know that we have to assault this city right in front of us, the Southwest 1210. So we will go through our pre-SAR, and pre-SAR is PRESAR, and it stands for.
I think you put a few more letters in there.
Oh, PRESAR.
There you go.
And basically it tells you how to operate. So P stands for prep for battle, and prep for battle means set up the plan, do the ordering, all that kind of shit. Then you have R, which stands for reaction to effective enemy fire, which is when you start advancing to that contact. When you put the plan into operation, you advance into the contact and you have to react to the enemy fire because you walk into contact, right? Then E stands for enemy location. So you got in contact, and you might get in contact from that city, you might get in contact from somewhere else. You need to organize yourselves and find that enemy, right? Just locate where the fuck the guys are shooting from. And once you locate them, you reorganize your section again and start suppressing the enemy. right? Because the first thing you do is fix the enemy in a position, right? You're not going to be changing the formation and starting assaulting them right from the bat. You need to fix the formation so that we can decide on how we want to operate. Do we have a depot on the right so we can use as a flanking row, or can we use the fucking trees as a position for yeah, position to you know, to assault or hold in the trees so that we can actually deal with them. Then we have A, which stands for assault the enemy, right? You use that flanking route or whatever that you can find around as something that you can use for the maneuver so that you can assault the enemy, or you can just smoke the fuckers off and assault them straight up if this is a viable option, right? And then R stands for reorg. So you've pushed for an enemy contact, you've taken that city or maneuvered around the contact that you had taken from an unexpected direction. You swept through their position and you sit on that position, right? You got in contact, you killed the enemy. Guess what's gonna happen? Like what? They're probably gonna be a QRF, or I don't know, you get mortars to your shit because the enemy knows your position. So what you're gonna have to do is once you sweep through that position, you have to get the fuck away to an ERV or some other position that is
I
safe.
gotta go Tesco
right?
tomorrow.
And then you go away to that safe position. You set an ARD, you reorganize the section, you go through your Kazam, you check your situation with ammo, you rebomb your marks, reorg. Once your IC goes through platoon there and does all the things necessary for him to do, so that platoon is also in touch with what's happening. And as you can see, that kind of preset both tells you in terms of doing a single objective or going for a single firefight, but you could also set it up on the case of the entire night, because you could start off with prepping the plan for the entire night, the entire operation, or the assaults. You could go through these assaults, right? You can deal with the contact during the night, and then you could set up the reorg as in go back to base and reorganize, or reorg as in do the debrief or something. As you can see, it fits for like the entire team of the night, as well as it fits for a single firefight, a single objective, a single specific thing that you're doing that contains a shooty. Right, so that preset basically tells you how the section operates from the ground up. Cool.
Brittany. I couldn't just go to the toilet.
Any question?
No.
Might be complicated, but
I'll be 2 minutes. Sorry.
That's all right. Nope. Bye,
What
bye,
was this?
bye,
I'm sorry.
Brittany.
I don't hear you talk low, sadly. For some reason.
Can you hear now?
Bruh.
Yeah. No, I can't hear you anymore. I can only hear what you talk through radio, which is weird.
That is strange.
I do not know.
Oh.
Now I hear
Can you hear now?
you. Yeah.
T-Far be bugging.
Do not know.
Right, did you have like a question or something?
No, I didn't. No, that's why I wasn't speaking.
Alright, cool.
Paul's hearing things.
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, no. Again, there are a multitude of smaller like acronyms that also tells you specific things that we do. But to be fair, I don't think there's a point in being specific, as in what data concept is or what purpose is, pacers do, and all the other stuff. This would be taught in your AIT. But if you're Wolf, you probably know them already and have them memorized, and you know specifically what they mean and what they do. He's AFK, so he's not going to react, but that's 100% the thing. He probably knows all of them.
So hopefully just Gilly.
Well, what do you mean? I'm 5'2", boy. I just shoot gun.
yeah, you also used to be an RTT, so there's no excuse. I know for a fact you still have the documents.
Yeah. So next thing I want to talk about are rules of engagements, or rather ROE. So these are the cars that we always talk about before every night
Yeah.
when we do the briefing, and we say, oh, card Charlie, card Bravo, card Alpha.
Yeah, it is a bit weird because like they're never explained ever. You just sort of have to like pick them up as you go.
Someone has to explain you to them. Like someone needs to tell you what they mean, because the only thing you may find the difference in is which specific situation we use which cars, and so you can actually set up a kind of a guessing game. So, oh, we're assaulting a fucking airfield where there's only enemies, and they told me they're cut off. And then a week later, you hear that you're patrolling through a city, where you don't know if you're ever going to get any contact, and you get a card Charlie, which means Charlie means less shooting down Alpha, and that is quite correct. So
Sorry,
these,
did I miss this?
We're
I
just-
just say you probably know all the acronyms that we use, and that is 100% correct. Yeah. Oh, yeah, back to the ROE or rules of engagement. So as I said, these are the cards that we mention every single night, and you might not know what they mean. To explain that, there are 3 different types of rules of engagement, or rather 3 different cards that we use: Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. All of them are used in specific situations where you need to find a specific kind of approach for the night, or for specifically for the objectives given. Right? You cannot go bustling in a card Alpha into a city full of civilians, because you cannot blow the buildings up. You cannot shoot everyone at sight, right? And this is specifically what card Alpha is. Card Alpha means that you PID your target and you can shoot them at sight, because you know there will be enemies, right? You can use every single building you find in the area in card Alpha as a fighting position. You can walk into it, not give a fuck. You can use it as a cover. You can use it as a fucking grenade if you want. Like, whatever you can do with them, it's all right. You can use explosives to engage anything structure related, right? You can blow everything up.
It's the freest rule of engagement.
Yes, you can just go and shoot things around you unless it's friendly, right? Because if it's not friendly, then it's enemy. There's rarely a situation that you will have civilians, or like never ever you'll get a card out of civilians in the area, right? Then we have card Bravo, which is, let's say, the middle one, right? And card Bravo means you have to be on standby, basically, because you know you're going into enemy area, basically. That the AO is enemy area, but you might find these civilians you don't want to shoot. You might have to go to these inhabited lived-in areas,
Cities.
right? Cities, yes.
Inhabited.
Thank you. Inhabited areas, right? You don't really want to go into these buildings because there are civilians there. How would you feel if a fucking army man randomly just walked into your fucking home and started looking through every single corner because, well, oh, I'm on Card Bravo, I need to check every fucking corner. No, he won't, because he's on Card Bravo, right? Isn't gonna happen, right? In Card Bravo, you only shoot the targets that you looked at. You have specifically looked at them. You know, PID them. Just make sure that the ID is their fucking enemy, and when they are enemy, you are 100% sure they are enemy, you can actually shoot at them. You need to be 100% correct, and good case scenario, your IC's permission, alright? Where is card Charlie? The least unstrict, which is the most strict. You do not shoot at an enemy, even if you PID them. You only shoot an enemy once you PID him as an enemy with a weapon up, shooting at you, and it's a life-threatening situation. Then you can only fire back when you get the IC's permission. All right. That's the difference between Bravo and Charlie. In Bravo, you PID your enemy, and you can shooty. Yeah, in Gilly's
Yes.
up. In Gilly's up, we was on Charlie. We couldn't shoot at anything unless it shot at us, and we got the permission to shoot back.
Although on the subject of that, when we were engaged in that small town, the people that we shot back at weren't the people that engaged us.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yes.
You were actually shot. You were shot at by a sniper on top of the hill, and you guys shot the fucking section stood in front of you.
Yes.
Really?
Mistakes were made. I saw on the OCAT they were hostile anyways.
I was fucking wetting myself. I was like, one three have just gunned down. They were insurgents, don't get me wrong. They were just still set to independent. They hadn't gone hostile to you.
Oh well.
I didn't see anyone on the hills.
Yeah, fair enough. They have an AK. I'm shot at. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We haven't committed any war crimes yet.
Me and McNabb were fucking
That's
wetting
not
ourselves. We
true.
were just like, they just gatted those
I-
guys down.
I was exonerated from mine.
afterwards.
Listen, I've seen Rossi just execute people. Okay.
Alright.
And again,
Okay, actually, no, yeah, those medics that like Mikhail and whatnot killed, I'm pretty sure that was a war crime, but
Definitely was a raw crime.
yeah, then again, for Cat Charlie, one more thing. When you get in contact, you will always look to withdraw, right? You will always look to break that contact, unless you are told otherwise, but by the platoon, all right? So if we get in contact whilst on Cat Charlie in a civilian city, we will not engage in that contact deeply. Of course, we will have to engage because we have to defend ourselves, right? But we will not assault them, we will not push in unless told otherwise. If we are not told to push into the enemy to assault them, we will try to break contact and move away from it instead. This is the main rule of thumb, basically. Might seem complicated at first, but when you remember that Alpha, you can blow shit up. Bravo, you have to be on standby, and Charlie, no shooty unless told otherwise. That's the main thing you have to remember, basically.
Just remember it as Charlie, don't be a cunt.
Don't be
TNC.
a...
What's that word
Oh,
you were
yes.
using about the Alpha Bravo Charlie? Is it card?
Yeah, card.
C-A-R-D. Card, yeah. Okay.
yeah, so you'll hear like an op, someone might say, what's the card? And I'll say, it's card Charlie tonight.
Yeah, cool. Got it.
If you are interested in it, you can Google it, and it will come up with the .gov website with the official army document that they lay out all the different terms of the cards.
Alright, yeah.
Did not know that.
Speaking of
Just as
cunt,
something
should
if
we
you're-
go for
if you're
cunt?
interested with it.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
cunt will take 2 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, Charlie Uniform November Tango. So this is to do with challenging people. So oftentimes, in fact, I would say the most common. All right, why is Paul getting naked?
You can actually demonstrate it.
The most common scenario where you'd have to use this is, say we've done a power drop at night, right? And there's maybe even a mist drop, or some people are scattered. What there is of the section of the platoon will gather together. They'll form up in a lovely ARD. If someone comes towards you, even if they're wearing friendly gear, you need to challenge them, because they could have killed a friendly, taken their uniform, and are trying to get into the ARD so that they can have a relatively good chance at killing a lot of you. So as they approach, one of you should start. So either you or the one being challenged, preferably you, should initiate this. You will say Charlie uniform. There might be another code given on the night. Foxtrot uniform is quite good. Sierra Hotel. You might see where we're going with these. So, using the phonetic alphabet. So, for example, so Gilly's going to do the example. Paul's approaching. This is nighttime. We're in an ARD.
Charlie uniform.
Remember Tango.
Welcome, brother.
So, what Paul has demonstrated there is he knows the code of the night. So, say, it's Charlie uniform, November Tango. So, the original person, Charlie uniform, they respond to November Tango. They're a friendly, because the enemy wouldn't have access to that information. Again, the code could change from night to night. As I say, if it was Foxtrot uniform, it would be Charlie Kilo. Sierra Hotel is Indigo Tango. You might see the pattern emerging. It's not Indigo, is it? What's India? Yes, that's it. Yeah, it's all swear words. If they don't know the code, you can try a second one. Most people should know about 2. And if they still don't know it, radio up, and you probably will have permission to start shooting at them. Or go and arrest them. Either. But yeah, there have been some nights where enemies have managed to get into our ARD because they've either not been challenged or they've not been noticed. So even if you sat still on an ARD, just waiting for everyone to reorg, stay vigilant. And yeah, if anyone approaches, remember to challenge them.
It's good practice to do it every time you're in an ARD.
It doesn't matter if you can see
5-2 coming up, and full well it's 5-2. You can see them on your C tab. It's them. Still challenge them.
even if it was Lewis, you need to challenge him.
Even if it's Lewis just walking up to you in his fucking bunny hat, You know, it might be a person looking killingly like Lewis, but it might not be Lewis.
Yeah, and I know in armor, you know, you look at people, you see, you know, their name in the middle of your screen. It doesn't matter. It's just good practice to challenge people because at some point I think this might be going away. The look at people and get their name because we never used to have it. So, but yeah, that's that. Fairly simple little bit of info.
What's the appropriate response if there is no response to the challenge?
As Glee said, is normally arrest them, so get someone else to come near you so that you can have at least one rifle pointed at them. If you've got cable ties,
At the time is to just tell them to hold. If they don't respond appropriately, tell them to hold.
oh yeah,
Then contact Flinders.
and then I'll tell you.
Then go through the channels and find out what we need to do with them. Then you proceed.
Normally it's an arrest.
Until you have Flinders' order, you just tell them to hold, and you do not let them inside your ARD or your safe zone or whatever it is you're doing. Just make sure they stay stood out in front of you. If they push you, then arrest them and wait for further orders.
I got you.
Yeah.
And if they pull a gun?
They pull
You're
a gun
also,
on you,
yeah,
then
you're also
then
authorized to
obviously
shoot.
you're-
If they open fire,
Oh goddamn! How the fuck are they in 100.2?
I don't.
It's not very original, let's be honest. Like,
No.
Yes.
Um,
100.4?
yeah, but say in terms of the like if they pull a gun, on the subject of rules of engagement, all of them have the sort of discrepancy that if you get fired upon, you should return fire. That's pretty much standard practice, and we will be coming on to the procedure to return fire in a sec. But if someone starts shooting at you, you shoot back.
What if they pull a gun and don't shoot?
If they pull a gun and don't shoot, then you can tell them to lower it. You can point yours at them.
regulate the situation as much as possible.
Yeah, it's the same with civvies. Ask, tell, make. You don't. If you're interacting with civvies, you don't pull your gun on them until the very last moment when all other options have failed. It's the same if there's an unknown combatant in front of you. You try and get them to calm down.
Yeah.
God, that is gonna annoy me. So might have to. We'll do it when we do the live fire bit. Any questions on any of what Paul and I have just been chatting about?
There isn't, but just well remembered when we first came in, I wasn't sure about the herringbone positioning. You can cover it maybe later, or just get it out of the way.
Yeah, we're going to do it now. So the way herringbone works is before op in the 3-section channel on TeamSpeak, where we all sit. That channel has a description. Before op, Paul or myself will write what's called the ORBAT, which is the order of battle, in that channel. We've got Charlie, that's the first group of people, Delta, which is the second group of people, and then technically there's traitors, that's for people who may have gone to a different section or could be Zeusing. Alright, Paul, sounds good. So
how do I access that? Is it just before we come in, or can I access it at any time?
If you've got your TeamSpeak open, you literally just click on the channel.
that says 3-section.
On the right hand side, there's a picture. If you scroll down below the picture, it will show you the section all about for each night.
Yeah, it's all neatly written down, as well as the section chain of command, basically.
Yeah, we do normally only change that the night of. So you'll expect to be in a different position, maybe the next evening.
To do with it is to just look at the list and look at the name in front of you and
and
after
stick
you,
near
and
them.
then make sure you're stood between them.
Yeah, but yeah, so herringbone, first person faces forward, and then everyone behind him, they face left, right, left, right, left, right.
And the Gimpy at the rear, facing rear.
As I'm doing currently.
Yeah, as this very small herringbone is demonstrating.
In fact, let's do one right now, so that it's correct.
Whilst we figure out our shooty bit.
One thing to remember on how to form a herringbone is the person at the front faces the front, and then it is the
That's-
IC is never right, so the
Yes,
second guy is always
yeah.
left, basically. It's a good acronym to remember.
Yeah, no ruins. Anything right?
And then this way. There you go. See, beautiful herringbone.
But it's not. Yeah.
It's a little bit slanty, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but this is kind of how
Yeah.
you use it.
Oh my god, now it's even worse.
Oh well. So let's.
Through formations and
Well, we'll do the RTR. We'll do the shooty because it's getting on a bit. Thanks flight. I forgot we're quite near an airfield, but yeah, we'll do the shooty. If any of the formations that like we call up, we think need work, then afterwards we'll do a bit of work on formations. So if you do good, there'll be less monotonous training to do. So surely that's an incentive. Where are we going to do this? Where would be good terrain?
What's a formation? I've been under Underwood for too long.
No, no. Don't mind not end.
What's a formation?
I don't know how many times I brought that up in Quiet Debrief.
So,
We're FSG. We don't do those.
I tried from within the detachment to put things like fucking herringbones and formations back in, and Underwood would just go, "Oh no, we're FSG. We don't do that."
Just sit around the mortar. Surely that's your formation.
That's Roach's formation. Fuck the mortars. Mortars
You're
boring.
trying to set in the tube. Anyway, I'm off.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Paul will decide in a sec where we're going to do this, but quickly, I believe Paul is going to Zeus it. It was either myself or Paul. I will want a 2IC. So if any of the privates, would any of you like to attempt being a 2IC, or am I just going to make Gilly do it?
I've got a Gimpy, so I don't know if I'm really best.
To be fair, it doesn't matter for tonight. I mean, usually, I'll be against, but it's a section training, and if you want to try,
Yeah, go on, I'll try.
it's absolutely fair in this,
I'll wet
in
my
this
whistle.
scenario.
All right. So whilst Paul and I decide where we're going to do it, Gilly, do you mind imparting some 2IC wisdom onto Wolf? Just so he's got a little bit of a...
Touch him.
Yeah, go touch him. Paul, let's just come over here. Let's go gather by these trees. Because I don't know Cherno very well. I don't know where would be good. I was thinking along the... If you look at the map, like this MSR. For...
Oh yeah, but I would go north. Let's start up at the gas station.
Start here and then...
And you just go north. I'll set up an ambush along the way.
Yeah, a cold ambush. Just like we do in the AIT, just contacts. We're going to assess RTR, maybe some section assaults and things. I'll try and incorporate. So, yeah.
I'll TPS in a minute.
All right. Well, I'll just explain. All right. Just whilst Gilly is explaining some things, listen in. I'm on chat, so hopefully they can hear me as well. Okay, Gilly's on chat as well. So, what we're going to happen is we're going to be teleported to the gas station. It probably in grid 003093. We're then going to, like if you've done an AIT, we're going to proceed up along the MSR, which stands for Main Supply Road. It's, like a nice big, well-traveled road, signified by the most yellow color on the map. And like in the AIT, there'll be a series of contacts. We're going to assess how we react to that enemy contact. And hopefully we're going to try and incorporate maybe some section assaults, some stuff like that, just so we're getting the full sort of 6-section battle drills experience. Paul, are you going to pause it after each one so we have a chat, or are we just going to debrief right at the end?
Yeah, you can pause, but yeah. What we're gonna do, in fact, is we're gonna do, as you said, we're gonna patrol down north along that MSR, let's say that you have to assault the city of Zabolotia. All right. So basically, what you do is you patrol north, go into Zabolotia, right? Proceed with pre-sal, right? Sweep through the city, and reorg somewhere. Your call. And in the meantime, I'll be giving some specific orders via platoon net with the correct.
Oh, he's got a fluffy head again now.
Got what?
Sorry, I was writing notes.
In the meantime, again, we're gonna go. Actually, I would go 100.4.
Oh, yeah,
Why?
I'm already on
100.4. All right. 100.4.
We didn't think they'd go on 100.2. What's the point of just saying won't
I-
go 100.3?
Well, because in like 1-1 would have. My thinking was 1-1 would have 100.1, 1-2 would have 0.2, we'd have 0.3.
We were on 0.2.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
By your own fucking
Right,
logic,
so
boy.
that's why we went.
Shush.
That's why we went 0.4. But we're gonna go through the thing that you can listen to the radio as well. I hope I will be getting these contact calls through the net as well, so I'll be replying to them at somewhat realistic fashion compared to McCarthy or Spill. What will happen? But yeah, I'm just gonna go through it as it was an actual in-op engagement. All right. And I'll fuck off to this myself. But yeah, I'll TP us to the starting point.
Sorry, question.
Yeah, far away.
With being 2IC in this formation, would I swap with Gilly and be where Gilly would usually be, or not Gilly, where Paul would usually be, or where I would be as a GPMG gunner in formation?
I would normally say swap and like be where Gilly or Paul would normally be, but because you have the GPMG, I'll say stay at the end. Oh, you're over there. I didn't want to do that. I'd say yeah, try and stay at the end, just because we only have one MG tonight. So,
First formation I'm gonna walk through tonight is staggered column.
yeah.
You can break off when you want, and I'll just chill.
All right. So yeah, if Gilly holds there, everyone just sets up on the road leading backwards.
Right, so for staggered column, remember that it's always left, right, left, right, left, right, or right, left, right, left, right, left. Remember about your spacings as well. Wolf, a bit more spacing.
Yeah, you can't hide from Paul now.
I see everything now.
All right. I mean, I think we're all set. Actual spacing, if needs tweaking, we'll sort it out on the move. I think we should just step off now.
My bad, I forgot to change my additional channel, so I couldn't hear anything.
That's all right. Yeah, we're stepping off now. Remember, we're going to be going at a normal jog. So just weapons down. So if you make sure that if you've got your rifle in front of your face, you double press Control, and that should drop it down, and you run at the same pace as everyone else. So just whilst we're walking, if we get contact, the usual procedure is to do the RTR. So you get a couple of shots off in the vague direction of contact, you take some cover, and then you return the appropriate fire with a fire control from myself. And then after that first one, you're going to be listening to Wolf for any additional ones. Because we're in a staggered column, if we get contact left, we'll all try and end up on the left-hand side of the road. And if we get contact right, we'll all try and end up on the right-hand side of the road in a beautiful extended line. which also makes doing things like section assaults a bit easier. Contact left. Alright, section contact north, bearing 353. 1 times enemy section. Danger close, rapid fire. Hello 10, this is 13 Charlie. Contact report, over.
10 sending, over.
13 Charlie, in contact, 1 times enemy section, danger close to our north. We are engaging now, no additional support needed, over.
10, Nathan, good effort, over.
Roger that.
Stay on deliberate, there's still some contact.
062.
Alright, Charlie, turn and face in an extended line. Push up on the south side of the road if needed. Hello 10, this is 13 Charlie. Additional contact report, over. Charlie, rapid fire on that contact. 13 in contact, 1 times additional section to our northeast along the road. Approximate grid 008096. Believe all enemy contact has been dealt with at this time, over.
Now you'd call it Kazam Wolf. 10, A firm, continue the tasking.
Section Kazam.
Brittany, green.
Gilly.
Further to that, Kazams are always done in section or about order.
No, they're not. Not anymore. Still contact. Yeah, Gilly, we've changed. We've done it differently.
How about we got taught that it goes by the order you see on your screen?
Yeah, or people just couldn't cope with doing all that, so we do it on C-tab order. Just because it is the same for everyone, and you just look at your screen. If you've, I believe it's north, they're in 025, danger close from Charlie. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Gilly, watch out. Oh wait, I've got to reload.
Brittany, don't push forward.
There we go.
Stay there behind.
Delta, Charlie is currently fixing the enemy. If you want to bound forward in your extended line to get some better eyes onto the contact, do so.
Follow me.
Reloading.
Bearing 072.
Alright, Charlie, prepare to switch fire right if Del's a push in front.
Attention to smoke. Bring it down to deliberate or watch and shoot, sorry. There's not there's any more movement.
If Ooh.
Section Kazan.
Brittany, green.
Gilly, amber green.
Sunny, amber green.
Pause it here. Lewins is tier 1.
green for Wolf.
Flinders, green.
You want me to push over to Lewin's position and begin treating?
Yep, I can radio up to 1-0. He'll probably Zeus heal him, but if you want to get some medical training in and stabilize him, then that'd be grand.
Go. Kazam. Yeah, go. Hello, 1-3 Charlie, 1-0, sit rep, over.
Awfully healthy for a
Section mostly green, with some amber.
1-3 Charlie, sit rep as follows. Section has dealt with the contact. We receive 1 times tier 1 who has been treated by platoon med. At this time we are green and are about to continue with our patrol. Over.
1-0, A firm. Continue your tasking. Perform a section assault on city of Zabolotye. Grid square 011, break 099. A firm last. Over.
1-3 Charlie, A firm, out. I just need to find a marker. Yeah, that was our thinking. Okay. All right.
Before we push off.
I think the platoon med, aka Zeus, has been round and packed us all. If you want to actually do some like med, Brittany, just ask and I'll tell Paul to be a bit more stingy with platoon med.
I'm quite happy to get a bit more training in just for real op.
Alright. I forget Paul is on net. So we're going to resume the staggered column along the road. The plan is, there is a marker on the road I put, which is BR right, that's to break road. So we're going to then move off in a column through the tree line towards the town of whatever it is, Zabolotye, whatever it is, so that we can get as close as possible before commencing the assault. So if everyone wants to form up behind Gilly on the road. Alright, Gilly, step off. Spacing can be sorted on the move.
On the move.
And then, yeah, FYI, the best way to sort spacing out on the move is simply just to wait until the person in front of you has got the correct spacing with yourself until you step off. That way you don't have to worry about, changing your pace or speeding up or slowing down. It should all be sorted.
Additional with that, when you're doing patrols on the road, stuff like that, where there's corners, obviously the person on the inside of the corner has a shorter line, you can double tap C to go to a slower jog, and normally it works out about right that you end up going around the corner at the same pace as the person on the outside of the corner.
Gilly, once you've broken off the road, if you want to try and hold the section around hill marker 338, if you've seen it on the map.
Seen. Breaking road right
now. And the usual sort of standard operating procedure, or rather SOP, when we do things like that, is whoever is the last man in the section should be the other person that radios, when you're, say, breaking road or, turning right. You may have heard it if we're in convoys. For example, the first vehicle will say, turning right, and then the last vehicle will radio up and say, turning right. The same can be done at the section level.
Gonna hold
as just down the hill from hill marker 338, because I think that'll expose us to the positions to our front.
Kind of right.
AFM. Yeah, remember you are the point man, so you sort of do have control of the nav.
Going crouched. Holding here.
Right, so section hold, just because I want a brief second to plan out the assault. And for anyone, I'm going to do it over radio, but I'm going to go chat to Wolf first, just so we can sort of see what my thinking procedure is for doing this section assault. Whilst we've held in a column, the normal standard operating procedure is to sort of assume a quasi herringbone. So, you know, the first person's face forward, and then everyone subsequently is a left, right, just so you do end up with the 360 degrees covered. So, before I hop onto radio, all I'll say is, the last one, good job. I think you dropped it down to watch and shoot a little bit too soon. Normally you drop it down to watch and shoot once the section is no longer receiving fire.
Yep.
But dropping it down to deliberate was pretty well timed, I think. Maybe could have gone rapid for a bit longer, but based on the enemy contact, I thought it was good. So my plan is a little bit scuppered because of the terrain.
Yep.
But I'll just stick some stuff in group so you can, if you open your map. So this is some examples. Say, for example, we are assaulting the BR right position, right? To do a section assault, or what we call like a fix and flank, you need one fire team, like this,
yep,
in an SBF position,
yep,
whilst the others, they flank around, and they get into an assaulting position to push onto their contact and clear it, right? Normally, Delta are the SBF fire team just because you've got the biggest gun, so you've got the most sort of heads down procedure, and we like to have a nice 90-degree, or as best, or close to 90-degree sort of assaulting angle as possible. It just minimises the risk of friendly fire incidences.
Yep.
I've also been told by Rossi that, because what we've previously been taught is when you assault, you need to assault in a nice aggressive formation. So either the extended line or the arrowhead. Those are the two go-tos. But Rossi has told me that you probably should assault in a column. So it minimises your sort of frontal sort of size to the enemy, so they don't think as many people are going to be turning up as possible. Because of the terrain, I don't think it's possible. I was going to have Delta set up sort of across grid 011, 098 and 012, like that. But because you're going to be shooting uphill, it's probably not going to be possible.
And there'll be trees and everything. It might be hard to see.
Yeah. So what we'll do to make it a proper section assault is we might send a patrol out to sort of that position to scout up to hill marker 343 to see if it's viable for SBF. Yep. Charlie... Alright, cool. Thanks, Paul. Charlie will then probably move up that way through the city so they can assault through all of the buildings. And they can like segment it like this, so they've got positions to leapfrog through.
Yep. I was thinking, if anything, Giddy should come up to the hill, because I think he might be a bit useless in the town with the DMR.
Yeah, normally the DMR is, I mean, officially in the British Army, they're not, but yeah, Gilly will attach to you. So, understood?
Yep, understood.
That's sort of my thinking. Right. Alright, listen in. So, I'll just explain to Wolf what the normal thinking is for a platoon, a section attack, and I'll give you a very quick abridged version. So there's lots of drawings on the map, some of which probably won't make any sense, but the example is, say we are assaulting the BR right marker, grid 008097. The normal procedure is to do a section fix and flank. You have one fire team fixing the enemy, which is suppressing them, and you have another fire team flanking the enemy with the intention to go through and assault the position. Normally Delta does the fixing because they've got the biggest guns, so they're the best for SBF, and Charlie does the flanking round and then assaulting. You want to have a lovely 90 degree, or as best as 90 degree angle to this to minimize friendly fire incidences. For the town, my plan, which might not work due to the terrain, was to have Delta in a southerly position, giving SBF onto the town from the south, so shooting north, whilst Charlie moved through our position and then advance on the town, sort of pushing through the buildings, going northeast. That way Charlie can sort of move up building by building in case contact is severe. However, Delta are probably not going to be able to do adequate SBF from my original plan. So I'm going to have a little two-man recce, so probably Gilly and a member of Delta. You're going to move to approximately grid 013, 098 to hopefully get eyes onto hill marker 343 and see if that position or anything around there would be viable for SBF. If it is, that will be where Delta is set up. If not, we will do a slightly more awkward situation where Charlie won't flank. We'll simply push through in essence a section bound with Delta giving suppressive fire in the same direction as Charlie's movement. And then once Charlie got a foothold, Delta push up, and then it's a section bound through the town. All understood? Any questions?
No.
Just going off of map markers, this town sits high of all surrounding areas, so no matter where we go, Delta will be in a defilade from the town.
That's why my thinking was hill marker 343. If you can get there and SBF it, it's probably your best bet.
Yeah, it's slightly low, but we can go and have a look.
Yeah, slightly low, but it's only a couple of contour lines down.
It's like 10 meters lower.
No, it's about 1 meter. Based on contour lines, it's about 1 meter lower.
No, I've used the map tools, mate.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, it is 5-2 fucking in me. Like, guessing for mortars, we have to know the exact height differences between places.
Hello, 1-3 Charlie 10. Over.
1-3 Charlie. Due to terrain, the original plan for a section fix and flank on this town is probably not going to be viable. We're just working out how best to assault through, and I'm going to get a two-man patrol off into grid 013098 to assess hill marker 343 for a potential SBF position. Over.
So, Flinders, 343 in 013.
10. Firm.
Yeah.
In addition to that, according to friendly intel, watch out any patrols in the
yeah,
area.
only 2 meters. 1-3 Charlie, say again, over.
In addition to that, watch out enemy patrols in the area. Our friendly intel has picked up additional enemy movements in the area due to the situation with the local populace. Over.
1-3 Charlie, A firm. We'll scrap the patrol. We will assault the position as soon as possible. Out.
I still think it would pay eyes on that hill first to know whether we can get Delta there without them being seen.
It would. All right. So if you, all right, Crow and Gilly, you are going to push to sort of west to get eyes on the hill 343. I mean east. To get eyes on hill 343. If you think it's viable, radio up as soon as you make that conclusion, so we can move the rest of Delta there. For the assault, you'll be tacking yourself onto Delta because you'll be more effective with the DMR as SBF.
Roger.
Right.
Right. Crow on me.
Charlie, we're going to advance in an extended line, sort of bearing 010, just to the edge of this tree line in crouch, so we can get some eyes into the town and see what's going on. Delta, if you want to pull it closer to Charlie, so you can just keep an eye on our rear for the time being. There have been reports of enemy patrols in the area. With that all said, Charlie, push forward now. God, this position is a bit shit. Yeah, I can barely see anything. All right, so Charlie, hold firm at the edge of this town, just because if we are going to assault, we'll be pushing through from roughly my position, given that the majority of the buildings are on the southern side of that road. The remaining two members of Delta, just keep your ear out for Gilly and Crow. As soon as they give confirmation that that position is viable, I want you to move straight over there.
Roger that.
Oh my god, why am I being a fucking idiot? There are literal markers for this. Alright. Yeah, so apologies for the delay. We would have been assaulting this sooner. However, this is fairly shit terrain to do any sort of sensible by the book assault, at least at section level. When we get to sort of debrief afterwards, I can maybe give a bit more detail if desired.
Just like real life, isn't it? Nothing's going to be straightforward.
Exactly. So we've just got to make do with the situation as it presents itself.
How's it looking so far, Gilly?
Recce report is as follows. Eyes are good into the town, however there is an extreme lack of hard cover. Should we be contacted, we would probably be fucked, so it might be better to just do a section attack from your tree block.
Affirm, you two pull it back, double time it. I will quickly redo the markers and we'll see what can be done.
Might be a good idea to have Delta on the left side and Charlie on the right. So we don't cross.
That is the exact thing that I was thinking. So the new plan, Delta, Charlie will give you sort of visual support, and if you get contacted, we'll give you full SBF, whilst you move north across the road and take up the sort of barn and outbuilding positions, grid 010099. From there, hopefully that'll give you enough hard cover and eyes into the town that you can give Charlie SBF if needed, and we will start our push through the town. So Brittany and Wolf, if you want to move to Charlie's position so you can get ready to bound across the road. Crow and Gilly should be with you to assist shortly.
Additional to last, at least one times enemy fire team.
Oh shit, you made me jump, you made me jump, you fucking prick.
I've been experimenting.
Sorry, McCarthy just gave me a heart attack. Oh my god, I actually just died. In fact, Brittany and Wolf, I believe there is minimal enemy force on this southwestern side of the town. If you want to bound immediately across the road behind Charlie and clear through that barn, then, you know, Gilly and Crow can reunite with you. So move now. Oh, affirm. As soon as you've got a foothold, Charlie will start the advance in the extended line, sort of northeast, to get our foothold into the town. A firm. Alright, I'll just quickly explain to you. We're clearing through this town. Most of the buildings are on this sort of southern side, so Charlie are going to push forward, building by building, buddy team clearing. Now that you're here, that I either go attach yourself with Sonny or Lewins, so that it's, you know, an experienced member with a recruit. We're going to push through, say building by building. There's a phased line so that when we get set up, Delta can push up and take the buildings on the north, but I'll give the radio for that in a sec.
Roger.
All right. I recommend Lewins. He's on the other side of the road. If you pull him to our side, you can be with him. Oh, you're trying to join my group. Oh, my bad.
Delta is ready.
Hey, firm. All right, Lewins. McCarthy is going to be your buddy, so he's going to be clearing buildings with you. Sonny, you're going to be with me. But Charlie, going to be up. We're going to start pushing straight into the buildings. I will quickly draw a line on the map, which splits Charlie's section into a north and south. McCarthy and Lewins, you'll have the north. Myself and Sonny will have the south. So, Charlie, push up now. We'll go weapons raised. We're expecting contact. Charlie, we are going to hold at phase line blue. That's the more sort of vertical line. We're going to hold in that position, which will allow Delta to push up and clear the buildings on the northern side of the road.
Contact 072.
I'm assuming it's card alpha, so if it's got a gun, shoot it.
Lens, if you see a contact, keep moving. You don't want to stay in the open.
Where the fuck is the door on this thing? Is this an enterable building? Oh, hello.
But there's a second one there.
This is an enterable building, so do you want to stack up? Alright, so breaching 3, 2, 1. Breaching left. Okay, no, can't go left.
Don't forget to check over your shoulder every so often in case.
Breaching 3, 2, 1. Breaching going left. Door left. And door at the back, I think. Just check if that's openable. Alright, cool. Push through. Alright, building clear. I will just quickly get a green dot so I can mark that. And we will move to our next one. So cross and barrel, cross and barrel.
Come over here. To your side, bud. To your side.
He wasn't there before. Alright. Oh. You good? Sonny, I've just pushed up towards the next bit of building.
Affirmative.
Oh, that's... Jesus Christ. Ah. Flinders tier 2. McCarthy and Lewins, if you want to push towards the south and give myself and Sonny some additional support. We're getting a bit bogged down.
Yeah.
Delta, I'm getting in contact from the north side of the road. If you have eyes on, engage.
There's a negative of eyes from our location at this time, over.
A firm, we're almost at the phase line, so you'll be able to push up soon. Breh.
Flinders up, check.
I think it's down.
Right. No, I think we should bound up now to give support.
Roger that, bounding.
I'm bandaging.
I forget I have Zeus. I can do this, I can just do that. Oh, was this a fucking PKM gunner? That's unfortunate.
Charlie up, check.
1-0, this is Delta, 1-3 Delta, IC, section Mascos.
10A firm, hold firm. We shall send any help as soon as we can, over.
Bro is cruel, bro is cruel. Oh, rip. Oh, Charlie is mascot. Okay, cool.
Section, deliberate or watch and shoot. If you see large enemy forces towards us, switch to rapid.
I'm deployed back at base. I've bled out.
Hey, firm, we'll try and get you teleport from Zeus.
Potential flank from the eastern point.
Alright, I'm back on station.
Copy.
Be wary. Single sighting of enemy contact 104.
Hey, firm. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm not stabilizing you. Sonny is fucked. There's probably going to be not much stabilizing him. He's got so many wounds in his chest from like fragmentation.
Roger that.
In fact, there he goes, tier 4. I'm having my Tawnies back.
Yeah, still taking fire from the northern side of the town.
Hey, firm, I'll see if I can get any eyes on.
Enemy man, south side of the road, bearing 080 in the trees.
If you see him, take a shot.
Gilly, I've got eyes on you. Do not shoot me.
Sing.
Alright, Delta, feel free to start pushing up to my position. Ah! Bro, they T4'd me! That's cruel. Oh, it's.
Pushing front, left door. Okay, fire door. Clear left. Clear.
Loons T1.
Okay.
Right.
40 might that's it.
Crow, sit rep on your side.
First building on the left is clear.
We're smoked off on this side. We may need you to try and hold our crossfire.
Crow tier 1.
Oh, that's some bullshit. How? There's no way. There's no way that guy killed it. Like, what? I'm gonna.
Is Crow on the northern side of the road?
3CB, British Armed Forces, Army, MTP, cars. We'll just take a Land Rover. Let's take a Landy. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Land Rover. Yep. Oh my god, why can't I teleport myself? Why can I not teleport myself into a car?
TP'd me? I don't.
Alright,
Oh,
right.
oh, I grabbed the wrong person. I TP'd you, accidentally thinking I grabbed me, and then I looked. I went out of Zeus, and I was still at base.
So what's going on here, by the way? Why are you sustaining so much casualties?
Well, I mean, I will admit I haven't seen all of it. My first tier 1 genuinely happened within the space of like 2 seconds. I heard shots and then I was dead. You'll see it on my stream. I'm not sure why. Like, the enemy just seemed. I watched Crow get like lasered through smoke, which is a little bit odd. My second one, I think someone who was probably being Zeus controlled. He was crouching around a corner, saw me, lit me up, and then full autoed my corpse, tier 4ing me.
Yeah, that spells going around and like resisting hard enemies to keep people on their toes tonight.
Yeah, but forcing tier 4s, that's a little bit. Like regular Zeus didn't do that.
Yeah, it might have been somebody else. Anyway, the reason being, right, is I don't think your angle of attack was perfect, to be honest. Now, looking in Zeus, obviously, it's hindsight's 2020. I would have came through this tree line up through. I would have allowed you to spread out a bit more, and you wouldn't have been as open.
We probably should have done. I wanted to get like an SBF onto the city, and then Charlie pushed through sort of along the road, but terrain wouldn't have allowed for that, and the patrol that I had got Gilly doing suggested there wouldn't be enough hard cover for them to use, so we eventually decided to do like a bounding assault, using the road as like the central. Which, yeah, as I say, hindsight of 2020 probably was a bit dumb.
In future, try and like judge. Just remember, you're trying to get like 8 guys into a small area, so you want to have as much room as possible. The problem with that being was we were overlapping Delta and Charlie on one side at one point, so you're basically cancelling out one fire team with firepower straight away. So just try and think about that in future, about like where's my best reason, where's my best assault, wise, and think about that when you're doing your QBO, all in all, it was a good QBO. I was just maybe your reason was a little bit incorrect, but like there's some prayer. Additionally, just the communication in the town. Even I was like, what the fuck's going on? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you have a lot of recruits, not you've got a few there that definitely need work, so I'm not going to put you down for it, but it's just something to work on. Communication once you're moving forward, especially in a binding and stuff. You want most of the comm to be between you and your 2IC about what your next intention is, so you keep that control. There's a lot of people just going, oh, there's a guy there on there, and it's like no info, so I would try and cut that down in the future. When you're in a heavy assault like this, try and have it just be that clear and concise orders.
Sonny, Lewis, how's it looking?
That should do.
Yeah, clear right side.
I just watched Wolf do that. Thank you for doing that.
Alright, Wolf, we're going to need platoon medic
Yeah,
on.
I'd say probably.
Leave them to it all for now. Leave them all there and see if we can see if they push off.
Yeah, I'd say obviously this is training. We've got someone who's like really new to the 2IC role, and yeah, my really quick tier 1 probably didn't help at all.
Who was the 2IC?
Wolf. It was going to be Gilly, but I said if anyone wants, to try it out, if anyone wants, a bit of experience in training of the privates, like Brittany or Wolf, then I'm happy to let either of them do it, because it was going to be Mac or Fullthorpe.
Gilly, like, he was my 2IC before you were, so he knows where he's at.
Well, it wasn't big training for Gilly. It was going to be like, whilst myself or Paul is Zeusing, it'll be someone like Gilly would have been, if no one wanted to do it, Gilly's confident enough to be fine with it. I was more thinking, if anyone wanted any training, I'd say the original plan, as I put in the WhatsApp, was for it to be Mac or Fullthorpe, but neither of them are here tonight, so.
Yeah, so just leave them for a minute, see if they move off, and if they don't, drop a few more, see if that gets into their head. Just to see, you're just trying to judge where they're at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I did talk about pre-start, that once they sweep through to a town, they have to fuck off.
Yeah, reorganize. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, searches, they should be pushing off now, so.
I'd say, I think between myself and Paul, the first contact that we did, the reaction to fire, that was pretty nice. I had no complaints of that first bit. But yeah, the town assault was a bit scuffed.
You don't want these to go well. That's the thing, because this gives you information now that you can take away. But just that control, mate, is maybe a little bit lacking. That's just on your side. That's something you can work on. Personally. So just try and, if there's talking a lot, you don't need to yell, shout and fuck. That was my IC style. I kind of rolled with an iron fist. You can be much more soft-spoken in it, but the big thing you need to have is when you speak, they listen. As long as that's there, it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as they do it. You know what I mean? So like going into the town assault, it should just come straight down to bare minimum comms on what needs to be spoken about. You don't need breaching into buildings and stuff on that, or I'm going to move this building on that. That can be done through local. And when you implement that stuff, it's going to make you and Paul's job so much easier to control.
Yeah, that's also what I'm hoping Gilly will help with. That's sort of the attitude that he's sort of coming into the section with, is sort of like he's going to help, controlling radios, which is a problem that we've had. Yeah, I know.
QRF.
That's our sign to get the hell out of here. We got AD. We got Paulus coming in.
You can hear him when we're in the thing. Make sure he's like, not gonna bleed out.
He knows his shit. He's gonna be really, really helpful to you guys.
I know, especially because, as I say, we did lose like the experienced bods.
Yeah. He brings really good professionalism.
Charlie, if you wanted to stay on that side of the road.
With as much as you lost, you've gained a lot with him coming back. Don't tell me I ever said that though. You know what I mean?
No, it will go straight to his head.
Right side of the fence facing off northeast.
Alright, they realise I have to fuck off.
Guys, push off down the hill, out of it.
Right, I'll leave it. I'm gonna go check off on the last lot of sections. Good work.
Now where we want to
double time it.
Yeah.
I would say one thing that McCarthy had mentioned.
Push straight over to us, mate. Double time it.
Before he TVs himself. Yeah, so yeah, mentioned that. I say at the moment, Lewins is a little bit of, he's like the sort of the weakest link. I think the exact words are liability, but hopefully home rotation will sort of sort that all out.
Just remember, this is still considered hostile, as we've not been through here before. So just
In case.
probably don't double time it. Just keep yourselves
I know everyone right now.
combat pace.
Yep, this is specifically home rotation what it's for.
Yeah, it's just to get the section in as good as position for campaign.
Hold. Wait for Charlie to catch up. We should be okay in the middle here.
Hopefully.
Right, maybe TP yourself to them, and I'll drop a little contact in that barn down northeast so they get a bit more shooting, and we'll end it there. Just do a little Debbie there, and that's it.
Yeah, what's the time? Yeah.
East.
Yeah, we'll drop a section or two more in there, and we'll Debbie there. Right.
Let's find myself. Where the fuck am I in the list?
You looking north through east.
Raj. There I am.
Section Kazam.
Brittany, green, amber.
Gilly, green, amber.
Sunny, green, green.
Lewin's amber green.
Wolf, amber green.
Luns, can I get you on my left side, mate? Just form this circle up.
Grow, amber green.
Sorry, repeat please.
Terrible ARD.
Can I get you on my left side, back into the ARD, please, mate? I'm doing it, alright?
Yeah, I know.
Charlie, just pull it into the ARD a bit, guys, and off facing.
0 and 4. Okay, cool. We're here. So just for you, there's going to be some contact down in the farm.
0, this is 1-3 Delta.
The farm grid. It's across 4 grids: 015, 103, and 104, and 016. Same.
014.
Vertical. There's going to be some contact down there. We're going to do. Hopefully, we can get a nice sort of proper assault. So I'll just drag the markers over. Because Charlie was dead for a lot of that. I'll have Delta SBF again. You'll be set up in the trees like that.
Additional 1-3, continue northeast to Quid Square.
Charlie will then
104.
Let's do direction.
There's an enemy
Charlie will
embankment
sort
down
of
in that
do
Grid
that.
Square. Go deal with them and sit rep upon confirmation of finish.
And then assault throughout that, or
Do you want me to run as Charlie for this?
Northeast.
yeah, run with Charlie for this.
See some markings that say a
We'll
farm.
do the 2 IC and shit, so we ain't gonna worry too much, yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Most northern side. Grid Square 015104 and Delta will be 105103. We'll be surprising, giving fire towards the farm whilst 1-3 pushes in and flanks from the back.
Hello.
Hello, 10. This is 13 Gilliman, assuming 13 Charlie. Over.
10, A firm. Inform me of additional movements in the area. Over.
13, Roger, out.
So we'll actually, and just for ease of people's eyes, we'll do something like this. So where are we?
Right, lads, listen in. We're going to be assaulting the farm off to our northeast. We'll be moving off in a column towards the 13 Delta marker. From there, 13 Charlie will be breaking off northeast through the tree block and setting up to assault the position. Any questions?
All right, I've drawn some lovely markers on the map. So there is a Delta break-off point. So that's when you're going to, take yourself away from the column and deposit yourself at the marker. And Charlie are going to carry on roughly following the line, trying to stay in the trees towards our assaulting position. I'll probably be taken back up as 1 IC, but I might be doing a bit of Zeusing. So, Gilly isn't going to be in Charlie if, I suddenly disappear. But Wolf, you can still be the 2 IC. If you need any support, radio, and I'll teleport myself, and I can just be over your shoulder. But without further ado, Gilly, lead us off in the column. Everyone else in Charlie, if you need sprint up so that you can get spacing.
Stepping off now.
And the question, I've got a bunch of mud over my glasses. Do I have to wipe it off?
Yes, Control Shift T.
Passing Delta break-off point now.
So as usual with most markers, which is something that I'm going to try and do as well, most markers are more put on the map for battle planning than exact positions. Delta, if you think you can get a better SBF position, a bit further back or a bit closer than where the marker is, feel free to place yourself where you think is best.
Remember, Delta, just stay low and try and stay out of sight until the point we kick it off. If that means you've got to sit back 50 meters in the tree line, do so, and then push up to the edge once everything gets kinetic.
We've actually got a nice defilade here, Flinders.
We do actually, it's very nice, isn't it?
Recommend switching it to an aggressive formation now.
Yeah, Charlie, try and assume up into an extended line. Set up on mine and Gilly's right, so our south side.
Delta has got a position. We have a lot
Holding
of
here.
greenery in front of us, so we can't see in, so we will need to push up when everything goes loud.
If, feel free to slowly push forward now, just so you can hopefully get some eyes on contact. Charlie, are set up on our marker.
Roger that.
On your go, boss man.
Yep. All right, Delta, radio up when you have first eyes on contact. Yep.
Contact 094.
Contact 046, 50 meters.
All right, Charlie, you're in contact. All right, Delta, start the SBF, rapid fire. Charlie, push forward. We're going to push into the ZAM. Charlie, if we can, try and push this fence, get over to the eastern side. There's a bit of a defilade, which should help in the assault.
Delta bring it down to deliberate fire.
Oh,
Just so we can
Lewins,
keep them
we're
there.
moving.
What is? Is it jammed?
No, well, it says weapons functioning fine. I've got bullets. I've tried reloading it. It doesn't work. So it's Gilly with a 9mm for the win.
Hey, Charlie, contact rear.
Yeah, contact the 096.
Roger that.
Delta, we have contact 092. Individual.
All right, Charlie, let's get into a building. It's the best foothold.
Push into the barn, push into the barn.
Lewin, stay one.
Delta, hold fire. Watch the move to watch and shoot.
Flinders up, check.
I'm still good, yeah. I'm not sure where that contact's coming from.
I am taking mass fire from my position. No eyes on. I have say it is bearing 027.
If push comes to shove, with your GPMG, get rapid fire on that. That will suppress the enemy location. In fact, I know exactly where it's come from. Let me. Fuck you.
Lewin's tier 1.
Yeah, fam. There was a guy in there. Delta, you are now ineffective in your SPF position. Try and pull back to us.
Go straight to the...
Oh, there.
I have a 9 milli. Fuck off.
Believe everything is clear. Yeah, Brittany, make your way immediately to Lewins. I'll try and stabilise Gilly.
Wolf tier 2.
At Learns' position.
I'm sticking a Jessiel on you.
I really need to start picking those up.
Yeah, I normally have like 4 of them in my inventory.
That was Roach's job. Roach, I have a boo-boo. Fix it.
Side chat to be popping off right now. Alright, chest is packed.
Fine, it's Lewis.
Yeah.
I got fucked.
Alright, Roach is Roach. Paul. It's having Gilly in here. It's messed me up. Paul is giving us a chance to do a bit of med, but I imagine he'll be on our position shortly. Once everyone is healed up, or at least, got stable, because I know there's a tier 1 and it might take a while for them to wake up. Once everyone is stable, we'll get a zoo seal for people. We'll gather around, we'll do a really quick little sort of debrief so we can talk about the whole bit of live fire, and then we'll end X and then do our section debrief.
Ignore fire to the south. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with my DMR.
Yeah, he's doing his own thing.
This is what happens when you actually use the weapon that's not a gimpy, you know?
You probably, fuck it,
Yeah, it just breaks. Fucking shit.
Hello, 3-1 Lima. This is 1-3 Mike. Message over.
3-1, send it all up.
1-3, we have a tier 1 on my position, grid bearing 015, break 104, medical attention needed. Over.
I got it.
3-1 A, please medic is on the move. Out.
There you go.
Okay, I fixed it. Okay, so if that happens to anyone where you fucking
Alright, there's back up.
unload it onto the floor, not
Yeah,
into
platoon
your
medics
bag,
tend to be quite fast
then
in this
put
unit.
a fresh mag in from your bag,
Amazing,
and
thanks.
it will work.
Oh, interesting.
Gun for the whole of the
He was just running around with his 9mm.
I got a fucking jam. I was shooting and I got a fucking jam mid-shot. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
The GPMG does not jam. It's fake news. All right. So I'll try and keep this brief because it is past 10. So obviously we want to do section debrief and whatnot out of op. But just in terms of the assaults that we did, the town assault didn't go the best. Like the things noted by myself, Paul, and McCarthy. Communication was a bit poor. The most communication that should be is between myself and my 2IC, whoever that is. And it should be, for other people, it should be limited to, sort of things like building clear. That is pretty much all the radio comms that you should give. I was given a few more. I was trying to explain, what was happening as we were going, like why we were doing things, because this is a training. So in a normal op, that would be cut out. The angle of assault was not the best. We probably should have pushed up through from the south and split the town in half. Charlie go left, Delta go right. But hindsight and the power of looking at the terrain through Zeus is, it is what it is. My very early tier 1 didn't help. And then my subsequent tier 4 by an enemy Zeuser, not sure who it was, also really didn't help. But, it's a town assault, it's CQB, these things happen. Other than that, it was all right. You didn't push off the position fast enough. We've got to remember the pre-SAR, as Paul said, reorg. That's push away from the enemy position because they'll presumably know the coordinates for their own bases and held targets, so expect mortars.
That was my bad. I messed up.
That was all right. You did later off push to a fairly good position. Let's say it was grid 014. 101. That was a really nice position in the trees. You should have done a nice proper ARD and done a full reorg if you'd had a bit more time. Coming to this assault, this was pretty good. Charlie got contacted from the rear. I did call it up, but we were sort of more interested in trying to get into the town, so I managed to sort of deal with that. Delta, great fire support. Just remember, with fire control orders, it wasn't mentioned, but you don't actually have to see an enemy to be shooting. They could be behind a window crouching because they're waiting for a break when you're not shooting to pop up. So if you're getting shot at and you think the rough direction it's coming from, even some rounds like over the enemy's head or over the buildings nearby or into buildings nearby will encourage them to not peek you. Charlie, I think we did pretty well. Not too much to complain about. Just remember, everyone, to mark buildings that you clear with a lovely little green dot. You can either do it in side channel or in group channel. If you do it in group, myself or Paul will transfer it over to side if needed.
Just a point on the suppressive fire if you're on SBF. So, for example, buildings like this one to my rear, 556 will penetrate that, speaking from experience. The concrete building to our east, 762, so that thing and this thing will penetrate that. So just if there's someone behind that window and they keep popping their head up, don't be afraid to pap a few rounds at the wall below it. There's a good chance you will get them. The pen on that thing in particular is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is still the sort of, if a fire control order has been called.
That thing, if worst comes to worst and a BMP rolls up on us, just unload into
fucking
the
fire, yeah.
Just unload.
It'll go through a BTR, no problem.
It'll go through a BMP windscreen.
Will it?
Yeah.
No way.
The 50 cal will go through BMP anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That through the windscreen.
Fair.
I know. You tested it on me.
Fair enough. Well, in terms of the assaults, I have no further points. Anything that you want to bring up, we'll do it in TeamSpeak in the section debrief. So you are free to end X.
No. That was instant. He was hovering over.
He was waiting.
Yeah, no.
Jesus. Sonny, the fastest endexer in the West.
His trigger finger was ready.
Let's quit armor.